Mhm. Welcome, friends, to this webinar, which is about teaching online, and it's for complete beginners. So if you want to start teaching online, but you have no idea how to start, um, I hope that this is something you will find useful. And I'm going to focus on the platforms that I use to conduct my lessons in groups. And the platforms that I'm going to talk about today in particular are Zoom and Google Docs. Before we start, let me introduce myself really quickly. I'm Yulia Savoskina. I'm CELDER certified, and I have a bachelor degree in foreign languages. What do I do for a living? Well, I teach English to adults in small groups online. And if you're very busy, you can't attend live lessons, you can join my voice chat program, Speaking Smart. If you want to learn more about this, you can go to my website. I think that if you want to start teaching online, basically you need a video conferencing platform, which can be Zoom. However, there are other video conferencing platforms that you can use, and you can use some of them for free. For example, there is one which is called Voov Meeting. If you haven't heard about this one, it's also a great option because it has the same features as Zoom does, and they're free. The only thing you need to know is that, let's say, if you have a group of people, maybe like you have four or more people, uh, you can you can have a lesson that lasts no longer than 60 minutes. If it's more than 60 minutes, then you have to subscribe to the paid plan. And if you teach individually or pairs, then it's fine. Your lesson can last for 24 hours. Okay, but yeah, I'm saying this because maybe you're in a tight budget. I know how difficult it can be when you're just about to start teaching online, and Zoom is something that you have to pay for if you want to use it for longer periods of time. Like if your lesson is more than 60 minutes or more than 40 minutes, you can of course try it out, and but the lesson shouldn't last more than 40 minutes. Then you will have to re-enter the Zoom session, which is of course inconvenient because it takes some time to do so, and you don't want to lose any minutes of your precious time. And so why Zoom? I don't know. I guess I'm just used to it, and I really like this platform. I've been working on this platform for years, and it's just a matter of habit, I guess. The other thing is Google Docs. I think when you work, so you pick your video conferencing platform and you pick Google Docs, and these tools are a great combination. When they're combined, you can work really comfortably. And let's first look at Zoom and its features. So if you're not tech savvy, this is going to be really useful. So the features that I most like about Zoom is that it has breakout rooms. Breakout rooms are really great for your students when you want them to work in pairs or in groups. It's just an amazing feature that not every video conferencing platform has. Let's now just focus on breakout rooms and some settings. Okay, so when you are in Zoom and at the bottom, you just click on you click on the icon breakout rooms, and this window would pop up. And there are three options how you can assign your students. So let's say you don't want to really spend any time on, and you don't want to be in charge of who works with who, you just can assign your students to work like to work in pairs or groups automatically. So Zoom does it for you. But if you feel like maybe you have a very small group and you you feel like some people work together better than others, so probably assigning your students manually would be a better option. So you can click on this option and assign your students to work together. You can also go for this option and let your students choose room. But again, it really depends on what the aim of the activity is. Maybe it's a famous kind of activity, find someone who, and you can use this one for that kind of activity. But this is not it. There is even something more important about making sure that your breakout rooms work fine and your lessons can run more smoothly. Then you click on this icon, Create. Once you do it, a new window pops up. And I would recommend setting up the options. Like you click on that icon, and these are very important things here. I would say the most important things. I This is what my settings look like, and make sure that these check boxes are ticked too. I think it makes your work easier, really. So you want your students to be moved to breakout rooms automatically. This is a nice feature. It saves you time. And when, let's say, a speaking activity is over, you want your students to be back. So breakout rooms can be closed and the students are moved automatically to main session, to your virtual classroom where you can see all of your students. So make sure these two check boxes are ticked. Next one, this one, I would say it depends. It depends because sometimes there are activities or there are groups or, you know, let's say I want my students to spend 10 minutes on a speaking activity, but then I feel like, it feels like while monitoring my students, I feel like that they need more time. But because this option was on, I know that when 10 minutes are over, the rooms will be closed. And it's not always convenient. So to be honest, I would probably turn this function off. Okay, and next one, it's also a very important feature. I would definitely set my countdown timer to 10 seconds. What does it really mean? Okay, let's imagine your students are in breakout rooms and you've decided to give them maybe 5 minutes to discuss something really quickly. And okay, it's 5 minutes. But when 5 minutes over, you want your students to be back. And they get this notification that there are just 10 seconds left before the breakout rooms close, which is really convenient. And you know that in 10 seconds, everyone will be back. If your set countdown timer set to maybe a minute or two, this is too much because imagine some pairs are okay, they are back, but some will be still like they will be still talking, which is not okay. And it's not okay if you want to give your student just maybe 3 minutes to talk about something. So you know when this time is over, they'll be back and you can move on. So you're just getting better to your time management. And all in all, I just feel like I'm much better when I track the time by myself. Yeah, I keep an eye on the clock and I know, okay, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And there is always a clock on my desk that I use, or you can use a phone, but a phone can be a little bit distracting because you can get some text messages or something. So using clock is better. And some clocks, like mine, it has a timer. So just do like that and the timer is set. Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit old-fashioned. Okay. Now, let's move on to Zoom's advanced settings. So Zoom's advanced settings, so when you want to use Zoom, you just click on the icon share at the bottom of the screen, and this is what you will see. So there are three options how you can work, how you can share your screen with your students. And I like this feature advanced. We'll tell you why and how convenient it is actually to use. I use this option, person of screen, which means that I can use any area that I want my students to see. It can be this area or just this area. Okay, let me show you a screenshot, how it looks and what students actually see. You see this green frame. So everything within the green frame is visible for students. So they can see that. They can see everything which is here and it's full screen for them. It's not small or something. But everything which is outside this green frame is visible to me. So I can see, oops, I can see everything here. My students cannot. So this zone is visible and this zone is invisible. Why do I like this feature? Well, first of all, let's imagine this is your first teaching day online. You might feel a bit nervous and worried about how everything can go, and you might really forget something important. And for this, you can use this area to leave some notes. I usually use this area as a reminder or when it comes to some kind of details that I think are important and I don't want to forget something. I sometimes use this area for CCQs, so I can just like here, it was a vocabulary lesson and I have some CCQs down there. My students cannot see this area, see, so I can see that and I can make sure that I do remember what I have to tell. And I think it's nice. Why not? If you can make your life easier, why not to do so? Also, sometimes use this area when, let's say, there are some activities, and I'm like, okay, I know that I shouldn't spend more than 2 minutes on that, or shouldn't spend more than like 10 minutes on that. So sometimes I just write, like, speaking activities, 10 minutes, not more than that. Okay, and what else? There is another cool thing. As you've noticed, this is, by the way, a presentation in PowerPoint. And another cool thing about this, I always use PowerPoint presentations when I teach. And I really like it because it's easy to use. This is something I've been using for years, and it's not difficult for me to make a lesson. And another cool thing about why I like using PowerPoint presentation is because I can type in here and like this. So I go to insert and then on the text box, and then I can type something. And I can save this presentation. So the text will be saved as well. And later I can send this presentation to my students so they can review it. Another cool thing that I use PowerPoint for and this option of sharing my screen is I can easily give some feedback. So again, I just click somewhere on the slide and type in something that I feel like my students need to pay attention to. Okay, so this is it for Zoom and the features that I like about Zoom and I use in my own lessons when working with groups online. The next tool I use is Google Docs. Well, Google Docs is a great tool and it's completely free. Basically, when I think about this tool, I think, okay, how can I use it? Well, when it comes to writing activities, and what do I mean by writing activities? It can be some grammar activities, it can be some writing lessons where you teach your students write something like, I don't know, essays, articles, whatever. So basically, you do all kinds of controlled exercises there. The second thing is texts. I do like, well, okay, let me first tell you what do I mean by texts. It can be reading lesson, or it can be even a listening lesson where you work with scripts. And lastly, speaking activities. Of course, you can use Google Docs when conducting speaking activities, especially when it comes to information gap activities, when you assign students to work in pairs where there is student A and student B, and they have to do a speaking activities like there is a task, but some information is missing. They cannot see each other's handouts. So that's what Google Docs can be used as well. And why I like Google Docs is because some teachers, I don't know, they might just, take a screenshot from their textbook and paste it in their PowerPoint presentation. But let's be honest, sometimes those textbooks screenshots are low quality and it's kind of blurry, so students cannot see the picture well. And I myself, whenever I read, I like when the font is big enough so I can see everything. Everything is clear and just, it's more enjoyable, I think. Um, and yep. So let's now let me show you how some of the activities that I do in my class, how do they look like in Google Docs? Okay, so this is a Google document, as you can see, and I use this one for a writing exercise. Well, actually, my students had to write a short kind of composition, and what do you usually do if you have a group of people? Make sure that each handout just takes one page. And I usually just write name and I ask my students. So before I send them to this document, I ask them to write the names on the top next to the word name. So here, what my students see is that, okay, maybe Julia is the first student who happens to open this document and she will write down her name here. So everybody knows that it's Julia's handout and I cannot write in here. So I move down and I can see another student's name, Sadat. So everybody knows that Sadat is working on this page and this is her handout. So that's how easy it can be conducted when it comes to assigning your students to work in one single document. Okay, what else? I mean, a cool thing about Google Docs is that it's nice because you can see what your students are doing here. You can see what they're writing. And while monitoring, you can, of course, give them some feedback. So you can comment. Let's say I maybe there is a spelling mistake in this word. So just highlight it. And at the top, you can see this icon. It says add comment. So once I click on that, I'll be able to maybe give my student some kind of feedback on, or just kind of ask a guiding question like, hey, are you sure about the spelling of this word? And the student they can actually see that I've commented on some of their words or writing. So they see these words. They usually get, as you can see, they're yellow. So they're highlighted in yellow, and that's how my students know that there is something probably wrong with that. So they click on that word, and they will be able to see the comment I left for them. They read the comment and they correct themselves. Of course, do not forget to praise your students, and just writing something, oh, great, good job, is a nice way to, encourage them. I guess. Oh, and the most important, of course, I'm sorry. How do I share this document with my students? Here at the top, you can see share button. It's big enough. You can see it really well, right? It's over here. So just click on that button. And these are the most important settings that you need to be able to learn how to work with. So when you go to this sharing link settings, you click on like on this, you see this like an earth icon, and you need to make sure that the link it's set up to anyone with a link. When you click on that, it means that anyone who has a link can join this document. Then there is another thing. If it is a writing activity, I mean, you know that your students need to change something in the text or in the exercise they're working with. You need to make sure that this button on the right is also set to editor. Then they're able to edit the document. Okay. If you just want them to look at the picture but do not change anything, that you would choose viewer. They won't be able to write in this document. But since you want them to write, this is a writing lesson, of course, it should be set to editor. So that's it. Then you just click on copy link, paste the link in the chat box on Zoom, and your students will be able to open it and work in this single document, all of them. Okay, now there is another cool feature that you can use with Google Docs. And in this reading lesson, I wanted each student to read this text at their own pace and match headings to paragraphs. But the problem is like how to do this, because I wanted to assign this like document for each individual student to create a copy for every student. So no one could be here, just one student. And how to do that? So how to create a unique copy for each student. First of all, again, make sure that your sharing link settings are set to anyone with the link. And since they have to, make changes to the text, they have to write the name of the heading for each paragraph. Of course, I would set it to editor. Okay, I've done that. Nice. But how to create a unique page? Well, you need to go over here. So click on that. And at the end of this link, you will see the word edit. You need to change this word to the word copy by yourself, like you do it manually. So you usually just delete the last symbols, and where the slash ends, here's a slash, right? So I just type in the word copy. Then I click enter, and my link is ready to share. So I just click here, I copy this link, and I share this link with my students in the chat box. Which means that whenever they click on the link, a new identical copy of this document opens up for them, and they can work individually. Okay, the only thing is that you won't be able to see what they're doing here. But that's fine because later you'll work with your students. I mean, you'll check the answers later on. I guess this is it for today. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask me. Guys, you're welcome. If you do have some questions, you can ask me. If you don't, that's okay. You can maybe ask them later because I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel.
I don't have any questions. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, Boda. Okay, Boda, was there something new about Google Docs that you didn't know?
Actually, yes, I didn't know anything about Google Docs, so it was very useful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Nigora, if you do have any questions, you can ask me.
No, I don't have any questions. Your presentation is great. I didn't know about before Google Docs. I just use Zoom.
Mhm.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. I'm really, really pleased to hear that. Thank you so much and see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.